So here's our Cottard's 8 steps, just to kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about. Step number 1 is to create a sense of urgency. You know, I've got a gazillion things on my plate. Why in the world do you want me to do this today? I've got too much going on. So we have to create, you know, this urgency for the organization of why this needs to be a priority and why we need to do it holistically as a group. The next thing you have to do is form a guiding coalition. I don't know about you, but I've been involved in plenty of projects where you get into the work and 3 weeks into it, somebody says, oh, we need to have this person here. Why? Well, we can't go forward without their buy-in. We really should have somebody like that involved earlier in the process. We have to do a good job of picking who is going to be part of the team so that we don't hit these types of hurdles. We need buy-in from a cross-functional group to be successful. Then we create a vision. What is it that we're trying to achieve? We have to get consensus as, you know, that guiding coalition comes together. This is truly going to benefit the organization. It's going to benefit the business. It's going to benefit us in IT. It's going to make our job easier. That vision, once it's agreed upon, then has to be communicated. Without the communication, a lot of time these projects, especially for operations, feel like someone else made the decision and they threw it over the fence and now we have to deal with it. We need to communicate so everybody that this project is going to touch has a very good understanding of why we're doing what we're doing. The next one I think is very important, and this is, you know, when I think of CSI, to me this is one of the most important concepts. We need to empower other people to act. What I don't want to do is have a bunch of employees that work for me that come back to me and say, well, can I move forward? Here's the report. Can I move forward? I want them to have the eyes, the ears, and the ability to make decisions based upon what's being measured. Instead of having to come back to me and ask me, is it okay, right? I want them to empower themselves to be able to make those decisions. When you have that type of micromanagement within these improvement projects, what basically ends up happening is it chokes down the amount of change that can actually happen through the initiative. People don't feel like they're part of it, and it's going to impact the success of the project. The next step is to identify, plan for, and communicate quick wins. Nothing can be worse in a service management implementation than to have somebody come into you and go, oh yeah, we're going to implement IDLE. It's going to take 6 years. I mean, who in the world is going to sign up for that, right? You want to hear, we're going to modify and leverage what we have with incident management. We're going to make a solid impact in the next 3 months. And then we're going to look at change management. And probably 3 months after that, we'll have 2 robust, mature processes that it's going to drive success in the environment. You know, that's a tangible benefit, something that people sign up for. 6 years, you know, 6 years from now, who knows what's going to happen. So we want to plan for these quick wins, and when we find them, we need to communicate it. That's what gets people excited about the change. It helps to keep them involved in the change. The next one is to consolidate improvements and produce more change. So after we get that buy-in, now it's time to really pick up and move to the next step, bringing in as much change as we can as we've got everybody committed to this project and to implement additional change as we go forward with this project. So this is kind of your short-term gains and your medium-term gains that you're focused on. Did I say games? I did say games. Your short-term gains and then your medium things. The things are going to happen in the first 3 months and then maybe 6 months, 12 months down the road. The last one is to institutionalize change, and this is a danger, especially once we start identifying the quick wins and we get commitment from people. We just think, wow, everybody's on board, we're moving, we're going forward, and unfortunately, Change is not that easy. A lot of times, as soon as the momentum dies down and the people stop communicating, people go back to doing things the way that they did them before. And so it's important that as you go through a service management adoption, that all of the first steps here, the 7 steps, are very important. But the last one, institutionalizing it, means that now it becomes the new way that we do business. And that's a very important part of change. So when we think of the CSI, we're thinking about identifying opportunities to improve. And when we begin the process of creating those types of programs to improve the environment, we want to make certain that the projects that we create for improvement also leverage the concepts of organizational change. They're likely to be much more successful.